Okay. This meeting will come to order. This brief adjudicated proceeding. It's October 29th, a little after 10. I'm still waiting for Commissioner Leach to join us, but I think we can begin with some of the preliminary work of allowing staff to describe the process here for the benefit of those who are going to be participating in it. So is it Alice or Colin or Jennifer that's going to be describing the BAP process?
I can do that. Yes, thank you all for coming. We are here for the brief adjudicative hearing where we are going to have the cases presented by our compliance officers, and everyone here will have a chance to speak. When it's their turn. We will turn on your camera, or you will be able to turn on your camera and unmute yourself when it's your time. And I believe when we get started, Jennifer Hansen's case, Jonathan Welch will be starting first.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to do first is put all three of the staff people that I think are going to be presenting today under oath. So if you would raise your right hands and swear that the testimony you are, well, I guess it's four, about to give in these cases is the truth, please do so.
I will.
And I have one, and 2, 3, and 4 have agreed that they will. Should do it orally, actually, get it on the record. But okay, so we have the ability. We'll start with Jennifer in the first case, and hopefully Commissioner Leach will log in, but we'll see.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This first case is for PDC case 155416, Jonathan Welch. PDC staff alleges that Jonathan Welch, a candidate for San Juan County Council in the 2024 election, violated RCW 4217A 235 and 240 for failing to timely and accurately file monetary contribution reports, or C3 reports, and summary full campaign contribution and expenditure reports, or C4 reports, disclosing contributions and expenditures undertaken by the campaign as required by campaigns registered under the full reporting option. Mr. Welch was a candidate in the August 6, 2024 primary election and received 5.38% of the vote. Mr. Welch's name will not appear on the November 5th, 2024 general election. Mr. Welch declared his candidacy for San Juan County Council on May 6, 2024, and paid a $1,124.70 filing fee. Mr. Welch filed the C1 report to register his campaign with the PDC on February 5th, 2024, selecting the full reporting option and listing himself as the treasurer and only officer. As a candidate for office in 2024 under the full reporting option, Mr. Welch was required to file at a minimum a C4 report for May 2024, due on June 10th, 2024, a 21-day pre-primary C4 report that was due on July 16th, 2024, a 7-day pre-primary C4 report that was due on July 30th, 2024, and a post-primary C4 report due on September 10th, 2024. So Mr. Welch filed 5 C4 reports on July 31st of this year, and the C4s for the month of February, March, and April disclosed 0 campaign activity. The C4 report covering the month of May included that filing fee that I mentioned earlier, the $1,124.70. He disclosed it as a monetary expenditure. and did not file any C3 reports showing any deposits coming in. So when he filed that C4, the C4 was filed late. In addition, the C4 then was submitted with a negative balance because there was no funds being disclosed to cover an expenditure for that amount. It is possible that that was actually an out-of-pocket expenditure that should have been disclosed as an in-kind contribution, but the report shows it as an expenditure. As of today, there have been no additional C4 reports or C3 reports submitted by Mr. Welch. On June 11th, 2024, PDC staff received the first of 4 complaints regarding missing or late C4 reports. And Mr. Welch was notified of those complaints, given an opportunity to provide a written response, and offered assistance with filing the missing reports and correcting the possible errors. Mr. Welch's only response was his submittal of the C4s that I've detailed already. On October 13th, 2024, staff served Jonathan Welch by U.S. mail and electronic mail with a hearing notice for this brief enforcement hearing today concerning the violations of RCW 4217A, 235, and 240. Staff alleges that Mr. Welch filed C4 reports late. There is still missing reports. The 7-day pre-primary C4 report is still missing. The post-election C4 report is still missing. And then there are some corrections that need to be made to that C4 report with the negative balance for the month of May to either disclose that filing fee as an in-kind contribution, or a C3 report needs to be submitted to disclose the deposit of funds to cover that activity, and then the C4 would need to be amended to disclose that deposit. Mr. Welch is a first-time candidate. He was acting as his own treasurer, as I mentioned earlier. The only enforcement action that has been taken against him, or any complaints being filed, are the ones at issue today. All of the complaints have been submitted regarding the 2024 primary election activity. A statement of understanding for Mr. Welch was not an option due to his lack of response and due to the continued missing reports. Staff would recommend that you find a violation of RCW 4217A, 235, and 240 for Mr. Welch's failure to timely and accurately file C3 and C4 reports for the 2024 election, and assess at least a $150 penalty. And then, of course, staff would be agreeable to a suspended amount with the condition of Mr. Welch submitting the missing reports and making any necessary corrections within that 30 days. And I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. I know you came in a little late, Commissioner Leach, but if you wish to participate based upon what you've already heard and read, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I heard all of the testimony. I just couldn't get all of the technical things working here. I still have 2 different devices, so I can both listen and watch. Can't get them all on one. I don't know what's going on there. But I think the staff recommendation is an appropriate one for this case.
Okay. Is Mr. Welch available?
I was just going to ask, Jennifer, I do see an unidentified DC6SC. Do we expect that Mr. Welch was going to be here?
I did not expect Mr. Welch. He has not responded in any way to me.
I'll go ahead and enable this so we can see who this is and see if it might be Mr. Welch. Hello. The person identifying themselves as DC6SC, you are able to turn on your mic now, I believe. Can you let us know if you're here for this case? Mic is still muted. You unmute and just let us know if you're here for this case.
The unmute is on the top right of your screen.
Mr. Chair, could I ask if this is Mr. Welch, could we allow him to hang up and call in or reconnect and give an opportunity for the testimony to be done
Right, I
before
wouldn't-
you make your decision?
Yeah, I would not make a decision without knowing whether he was trying to get in or not. What I'm going to do is defer further action on this case and move to the next case. We will come back to this to see if Mr. Welch is trying to get in. And I don't want to make a ruling if there's someone who's trying to get in to testify in this case. So we'll defer action and move to the next case and come back to this.
Thank you.
Next case, please. Which of the staff is going to present the next case, please?
I believe the next one on the agenda is Tanya.
Yep.
Oh, and is Tanya still not here?
I'm here.
Sorry. Yeah, see, you're on the screen. No, go ahead, Tanya. You've been sworn in. Go ahead and make the presentation if you would.
Thank you, Chair. I am here to present case 157533 against Lisa Malpass. In this case, PDC staff alleges that Lisa Malpass violated RCW 4217A205 and WAC 390-16-125 by exceeding the mini reporting limitations before requesting to change from the mini reporting option to the full reporting option, and RCW 4217A235 and 240 for failure to timely and accurately file monetary contribution reports, C3 reports, and summary full campaign contribution and expenditure reports, C4 reports, disclosing contributions and expenditures in election year 2024. Ms. Malpass is a candidate in election year 2024 for Superior Court Judge in Ferry, Pend Oreille, and Stephen Counties Superior Court. She filed a candidate registration, C1, with the PDC for the mini reporting option on March 8, 2024. On July 15, 2024, the respondent contacted the PDC to inform staff that she had, on July 5, 2024, requested to change from the mini reporting option to the full reporting option, see Exhibit 1. On July 23, 2024, the PDC granted the request, and on this date, the respondent amended their C1 to reflect the full reporting option. Under the mini reporting option, a committee must agree to not raise or spend more than $7,000 in addition to their filing fees. The committee must also commit to receiving no more than $500 from any one contributor other than the candidate themselves. Changing from the mini reporting option to the full reporting option requires PDC staff's approval, and the request must be made before the committee exceeds the mini reporting limits. The deadline to request the change for the 2024 primary election was June 24th and September 3rd for the general election. Regardless of the candidate not being on the primary election ballot, she exceeded the mini reporting limits before requesting conversion to the full reporting option, so the deadline of September 3rd is not applicable in this instance. Prior to making the request for conversion from mini to full reporting, the respondent exceeded the mini reporting threshold on July 1, 2024, when campaign financial activity reached $7,036.56, and this does not include the filing fees. On July 5, 2024, at the time the mini to full reporting change was requested, campaign financial activity was at $9,156.86 raised and expended, and this included the filing fees of $2,173.91. A mitigating factor for your consideration is that through July 5, 2024, the campaign was self-funded. As of today, the campaign has raised $27,156.24, and the campaign has been 100% self-funded. The campaign has expended $23,288 $254.96. On July 10, 2024, the respondent submitted one C4 and four C3 reports for March, one C4 and one C3 report for April, one C4 and six C3 reports for May, and one C4 and four C4 reports for June. The reports were amended on July 16, 2024. These reports became due on July 1st, 2024, when the mini reporting threshold was exceeded and are considered 9 days late. For July, the respondent submitted 6 timely C3 reports, and the C4 report was submitted on July 16, 2024, but amended on August 12, 2024, reflecting substantial changes to receipts received and in-kind contributions received and expenditures made. The August C3 and C4 reports were timely. Ms. Malpass was offered a statement of understanding on September 17, 2024 for a $300 civil penalty reflecting a first offense. The respondent declined the SOU on October 2, 2024 and requested to be scheduled for a brief adjudicative proceeding. Using Ms. Malpass' email and mailing address of record, the PDC staff sent the hearing notice and memorandum on October 8, 2024. For your consideration, we offer these additional mitigating factors. The respondent is a first-time candidate for elected office. The respondent did not appear on the 2024 primary election ballot, but did qualify for the 2024 general election, and the respondent self-reported their violation of the mini reporting limits. Staff recommends the Commission find that the respondent violated RCW 4217A-205 and WAC 390-16-125 by exceeding the mini reporting limitation before requesting a change from the mini reporting option to the full reporting option, and RCW 4217A-235 and 240 for failure to timely and accurately file monetary contribution reports, C3, and summary full campaign contribution and expenditure reports, C4, disclosing contributions and expenditures. Staff recommends to assess the respondent a civil penalty for a first occasion of 2 violations where the mini reporting threshold was exceeded and the request to change from the mini reporting option to full reporting option was not done timely, and the C3 and C4 reports were filed late but before the date of this hearing, per WAC 390-37-143. The base penalty range for this fact pattern is $0 to $300, and we request the civil penalty to be made payable within 30 days of the date of this order. I'm available for questions if there are any. Thank you.
Commissioner Leach, do you have any questions for staff?
I do not.
Okay, I don't either. Now, I do believe that the respondent is available.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yes.
So if the respondent could come on and take the oath, I would appreciate it.
Ms. Malpass, you should be able to unmute yourself.
You were still muted. You were unmuted for just a brief second, but
How about now?
Okay, that's great. This is the chair, Alan Hayward. I would appreciate it if you would raise your right hand and swear that you will tell the truth in this procedure subject to the laws of perjury.
I do.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Thank you, commissioners and PDC staff. I am just wondering if you've been able to read the materials that I submitted.
I have, and I believe Commissioner Leach has as well.
Thank you. As you can tell, and I do apologize, I tried my best and have a large number of amendments in July. I believe they exceed 90 plus. I believe that I tried to do everything that was requested of me, and it proved to be a little bit over my head when I had to convert from mini to full. Therefore, based on the information that you've read, in addition to my first time, I still don't know where the $54 comes from. I think it might be a rollover from a previous month on a non-expenditure item because it shows up in August. But at the same time, based on the mitigating factors, self-reporting, self-funded, attempting to good faith attempt to resolve the case, I am hoping that the commission would consider a penalty and the light's adjusting, more favorable to me in this instance. And I will take full responsibility for whatever decision the commission makes.
Thank you very much. I'll allow Commissioner Leach to make any comment he wants first, and then I'm ready to rule.
I don't have any comments. I do have a question for staff, and that is, are you able to answer Ms. Malpass's question or concern about where the $50-some came from that caused her to exceed the $7,000 limit?
As far as I can tell, it is in her reporting. I did provide a breakdown of the amounts that I used in determining the instance when she exceeded the $7,000 mini reporting limit threshold. And what I see is there is let's see, an unitemized expense on July 1, 2024 for $54. It does not, there is no explanation in the reporting for what that was other than an unitemized expense. And so that is most likely what took her over in that period, but it is still in the reporting.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Right. Does the respondent have any additional information based upon what staff just said about the $54?
I do notice that the $54 again rolled over into August as a so I believe everything is just cascaded from the $54, and which pushed me into the over $36, over the $7,000 limit, pushed me $36 into it. And I talked to my treasurer about it. We did not want to amend it or take it out of there because of the dispute that's pending right now. We didn't want it to look like it was disingenuous, but I can't explain where it comes from. And I'm just taking it as is.
Okay.
It could have been something I did in those 90 amendments that I was just testing out. I don't know. I just frankly don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in this case, I think the facts are there that we have to find a violation, but I am very sympathetic to your plight and to the mitigating circumstances in this case. And I am aware that even though you missed some deadlines, the voters do indeed have all the information, apparently, or will have, hopefully. So my inclination is to find a violation, because there is one, but to go ahead and assess the $300 fine, but suspend $200 of that. And impose a $100 penalty for the technical violations. And even that I'm kind of reluctant to do, because I believe entirely in your good faith in this case. But people that go short, the file short form and then run into the situation where they need to go long form, it's tricky, but there has to be a consequence. So I'm going to fine $300, but suspend $200 of that. It was $100 plus. You must file the remaining reports that are due within 30 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And will I get a letter or some way that I can pay that? Okay.
Yes, the staff will be in contact with you on how to do that.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. The PDC time and the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I be dismissed?
You are dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any further response to the first case? Is our Mr. Welch available?
Chair, I think the unidentified person in the room might be representatives for TikTok. They appeared briefly on the screen. It did not appear to be Mr. Welch.
Okay, then let's just go back to the Welch case then, if it doesn't look like Mr. Welch is trying to come in. On that case, let's see. Well, I think we have to find a violation because there is a clear violation. Once again, this is one of these cases where the violation exists. There's some attempt, it looks like, to try and comply with the law. I'm going to suggest that we find a violation, and I'm going to go back again to Commissioner Leach because I'm in the air as to how much of that to find and suspend. Do you have any suggestions?
I would suspend all but $110 of it, since we try to not reward people for going to hearing rather than, I recognize that a memorandum of understanding wasn't available here because of the unfiled reports, but I would use the same ruler. And then I've forgotten what the recommended number was, but I would adopt the recommended number and suspend all but $110 of it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, the staff was recommending $150 penalty as a first occasion.
Okay, so what I will do is find a violation, impose 150, but suspend $40 of that. So it's 110 plus within 30 days filing all necessary reports and other actions required, if any. No
Thank you.
objection. So, okay, thank you. So ordered. Now, the next case, if they're still here, I guess, is the TikTok ByteDance.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Good morning to Chair Hayward. This is Rob Kellner at Covington and Burling on behalf of TikTok.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herring. I need to tell you, and I hope that staff would have contacted you. One of the powers that I have as commissioner, as the chair of the commission, is to choose to not have a case heard in these brief adjudicated proceedings, but because of whatever reasons I choose to advance the case to the full commission. And so that is our plan, to have this heard at the next commission meeting, which I believe is regularly scheduled for the 12th of December. And so we're not going to hear this case today. Rather, we'll hear it before the full commission on December 12th.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You're dismissed.
Chair.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
it may be a future meeting due to the need to now involve the AAGs in bringing a case before the full commission.
Okay, no sooner than the 12th of December, maybe later. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our business today, I think. Is there any, guest, excuse me, we do have a person who wishes to have public comment. So Connor, you got 5. Oh, wait a minute. Jay, Commissioner Leach are you asking to be recognized, Commissioner Leach?
No, I have a repairman in the room with me, and I'm trying to juggle 2 tasks at once.
Oh, okay, no problem.
And I'm fine now.
I was gonna defer to you before I contacted Connor. Well, okay,
No,
Connor, you got 5.
Connor can have the floor.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. And I don't think I'll need quite 5 minutes, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Chair Hayward and Vice Chair Leach. At last week's meeting, Chair Hayward, you opened with a statement where you said that the goal of the PDC was to provide voters with campaign finance information prior to the election, and that when the information is only disclosed after the election is already over, it's not particularly helpful. Obviously, I agree, and I think everyone ought to agree with that statement. But as a matter of policy, the agency does not operate consistently with that statement, and I'll explain. The agency staff have a de facto policy of what to do when filers don't file their C3 and C4 reports. And here's the policy. Get the campaign to file the report and then just dismiss the complaint. If the filer can just get the report in, there aren't any meaningful consequences for the folks that wait until after the election to make their disclosures. They just get a warning letter. The only time that late filers actually get sent to hearings is when the respondent is either too lazy to file the reports or too stupid to understand that the staff actually desperately want to be able to dismiss the complaint, but that the complaint legally can't be dismissed until the reports are filed. Again, even if the reports are only filed years after they were due, after the election is already over, the staff's policy is to dismiss the complaint once the reports are filed and they are legally able to do so. And I think that the underlying problem here is this. The agency staff have a very strong incentive to dismiss complaints with warning letters and a very weak incentive to actually pursue penalties. Using a warning letter to throw out a complaint is quick and easy. Taking cases to hearings and imposing penalties is time-consuming and difficult. And when the agency staff wind up using warning letters to dismiss just about every complaint that the agency receives, the commissioners have no mechanism to exercise oversight authority and course correction. And again, I'm not talking about cases where a candidate files a report 1 or 2 days late or misses a $10 contribution. I'm talking about cases that would result in penalties in any other neighboring jurisdiction, but just get dismissed at the PDC. The idea that campaign finance agencies would impose penalties on filers that fail to file reports by the required deadline, that's not a controversial idea. That is exactly how all our neighboring states, both red and blue, already operate, and that's also how the FEC operates on the federal level. And I acknowledge that it's a lot easier for staff to use warning letters to dismiss complaints than it is to pursue penalties, but just because something is easier doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. And so the question that I want to ask, just in closing, is when is the agency going to take up this issue? Because the staff's usage of warning letter dismissals was added to the 6-month rulemaking agenda back in, I think, May or June. I think it was probably June. And we are just about at the end of that period now, and nothing has really been done. And I'm not necessarily even expecting anything to change, but I just thought that there was at least going to be sort of an intentional discussion at the commission meeting. So I don't know if you're able to answer that question, Chair Hayward, but that's all I've got for today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to answer the questions other than to say I think that the direction of the commission over the last few months with the automatic the C3 reports, C4 reports, the 21-day, 7-day, my comments should tell you that at least the chair and I think the other members are rapidly moving towards file before the election or see us in the hearing. That's where we are headed. So anyway, thank you. Is there any
Thank you.
Any further action for us today? If not, the brief adjudicated proceeding is adjourned. Thank you.